Hello, crochet friends! Recently, I saw a news story that got me really excited, which is strange, I know, but I think that you're going to get excited when you hear it too. Meta is going to be labeling all AI images and videos on all of their platforms starting in May. That is huge news, so let's talk about it. Any crocheter that's on social media is probably aware of the infiltration of AI images into our community. Since the rollout of Midjourney, DALL-E, ChatGPT, and other AI tools, the internet has been saturated with AI content, and it's only getting worse. In fact, it feels nearly impossible for me to scroll on Facebook nowadays without being inundated with AI images of things that are just too good to be true, like a life-size crochet elephant or a 4-poster bed made entirely out of mushrooms. Some of the first AI crochet images that I saw hit the scene were from a group that I will refer to as the Crochet Grannies. There's different variants on this theme, but the general idea is to depict an elderly lady next to some giant crochet creation that she has supposedly made. I've seen grannies next to giant cats, tanks, motorcycles, and who could forget Batman Granny? I've also seen other variants like groups of grannies supposedly crocheting together. People tend to think that these kind of images are real because of their mental associations with the fiber arts and elderly women. So images like this really tend to slip past their defenses. You might have seen other giant supposed crocheted AI items like the octopus blanket or life-size animals. I have seen tons of baby clothes and dolls that were supposedly crocheted items on Facebook that have thousands of likes and comments, and nobody seems to realize that they're fake. Some of these items are admittedly impressive or would be really cool if they were real. The problem is that people don't seem to know the difference. So what's the big deal, you might ask? Well, a few things. It disappoints people when they find out that it's not real. It takes away attention from real artists out there doing amazing work, and it's misleading people about what can really be accomplished in different mediums like crochet. I've heard loads of stories about people getting angry with crocheters when they find out that the item they're trying to commission is unattainable because they expect these crocheters to be able to make that thing, even if it's physically impossible. Non-crocheters are not the only ones getting fooled. Bad actors are using AI images to fool crocheters into buying crochet patterns for items that don't exist on Etsy and other websites. Sometimes they'll send people patterns that are made by ChatGPT that are basically just gibberish. And other times, they don't send you anything at all and just take your money. We can try to educate people on how to spot AI imagery, but the truth of the matter is that the technology is rapidly advancing, and pretty soon, all of those tells that we use, like how AI poorly renders hands, are going to be a thing of the past. This is why I think that meta labeling AI is a big deal. If you generate anything using the AI tools on their platforms, Meta already labels that with an Imagined with AI label. However, starting in May of 2024, they are going to be labeling anything that they detect is AI generated, as well as requiring users to disclose if any of the content they are uploading is AI generated. When I shared this news on my Instagram, people had some questions about Meta's AI detection. So I decided I would do more reading, and here's what I found. In an article in their newsroom entitled "Our Approach to AI-Generated Content and Manipulated Media," dated April 5th, 2024, they said that, quote, "In February, we announced that we have been working with industry partners on common technical standards for identifying AI content, including video and audio. Our Made with AI labels on AI-generated video, audio, and images will be based on our detection of industry-shared signals of AI images or people self-disclosing that they're uploading AI-generated content." Let's unpack a few of the things they said there. They mentioned being able to detect AI-generated content based on industry-shared signals of AI images, but how will they know? Back in February, they announced this change in policy regarding AI. If you go to that article, they discuss that they have developed a technology to put both visible watermarks and invisible markers onto the metadata of the image itself when it is generated. The article says, quote, The invisible watermark is applied with a deep learning model. While it's imperceptible to the human eye, the invisible watermark can be detected with a corresponding model. It's resilient to common image manipulations like cropping, color changes like brightness and contrast, screenshots, and more. They go on to say that they are working to develop a technology to identify AI content at scale, and that they are working with the industry-leading companies, specifically OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Adobe, and Shutterstock, as they implement their plans for adding metadata to images and media that is created using their tools. So from this statement alone, we can deduce that these companies are not currently using this type of labeling technology, or at least it is not being done consistently across the board. Meta mentions that they will now be requiring all users to disclose if they are uploading AI-generated content to their platform going forward. They also mention that there will be penalties for violations of this policy, though they do not go into great detail about what those penalties will look like. At first, the disclosing may be more of an honor system type of thing, since the tools for the detection aren't widely implemented. As more companies begin employing some kind of watermarking or invisible labeling of the metadata on images and media, the detection will improve, and it will become harder for people to upload AI content while evading that AI label. Of course, when you have watermarks of any kind, you're going to have people trying to remove them. Meta says that they are working on tools that will help to detect AI even if it lacks those markers, and are developing ways to make it harder to remove or alter those marks that have been added to images. The technology that they mention is called stable signature, and it integrates the watermark directly into the image generation process for some models, making it much harder for you to disable or remove that watermark. Like in video games, every new anti-cheat results in a wave of new cheaters trying to evade the upgraded system. So I am sure there will be people trying to evade these detection tools. I am happy to hear that Meta is at least doing something to address all of the AI that is running rampant on their platforms. Now, circling back to that announcement from February about the policy change, one of those things that changed is that Meta will no longer be removing AI-generated or digitally altered content that it finds is in a violation of its policy. They will be labeling those posts, and the post's reach may be limited as well. Now, it will not just be an algorithm that determines if something is AI. They say in this article that, quote, "We also have a network of nearly 100 independent fact checkers who will continue to review false and misleading AI-generated content. When fact checkers rate content as false or altered, we will show it lower in the feed so that fewer people see it, and we will add an overlay label with additional information." What are these new labels going to look like? I will show you on screen examples of these labels that I was able to find in the newsroom articles released by Meta. It appears that the post will say AI info in the white bar that appears at the top of the post underneath the username. This is the same place that you can find a sponsored label on posts on Instagram and Facebook. All of the examples that they show have this AI label blown up to be more visible, but it's really unclear whether or not this is what the labels will look like in their final form. After seeing these, I gotta admit I was a little bit disappointed. This type of label really depends on people having media literacy enough to actually look for that label. In my experience on Instagram and Facebook, people don't know to read the words on the screen that pertain to what you're talking about. They don't listen to the words that you're saying, and they certainly don't know to go look at the description for more information. For example, I could have a video featuring a crochet pattern. I could put the name of the crochet pattern and where it's available on the screen. I could say the words in a voiceover and even list it in the video description, but I will still have people commenting on that post asking me if a pattern is available for this item. And in my opinion, the kind of people who don't read captions are just the kind of people who are more likely to fall for these kinds of things in the first place. In my research, I was unable to determine whether AI images and content generated on other platforms than Meta will be labeled with a visible watermark in addition to an AI label. All of the information I found related back to AI that was generated using Meta's tools. They do say in all of these posts that the designs of the labels is not final, so it is still possible that they could change and that they could be very prominent when they are applied in May. Only time will tell. So in summary, Meta will begin labeling AI-generated content and digitally altered media on all of their platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, starting in May. This includes all AI-generated images, video, and digitally altered media. While I think it remains to be seen how accurate Meta's AI detection system will be and how prominent the labels will be on these AI posts, I am very happy that at least they will be labeling AI content in some way. It's not going to solve all of the problems around AI content, but at least we will have a label to point to and show people that these images are not real, and that's a start. So what do you think about Meta's labeling of AI content? Is it going to be enough? I look forward to reading all of your opinions in the comments. And if you're still here, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you found it helpful, maybe give the video a like and a share. Of course, you could always hit subscribe if you want to stick around and see more crochet videos from me. I upload every other Wednesday, and I love to make new crochet friends. Speaking of crochet friends, follow me on social media. I am Graceface Creates on all platforms. Thanks again for watching, and happy crocheting!